Hey guys, Ryan here, back in another video. Today is more of it's a movie review slash movie rating video. I've seen Spider-Man Homecoming on Friday. Should have done this video probably a couple days ago, been debating about it, but doing it now. Overall, I want to say that I love the movie. Really good. Not much to fault on it, except maybe wasn't happy with a certain character. I'll get into that later in the more spoiler section. But overall, I liked the movie. I think the cast was for the most part was phenomenal. The story was really good. I liked the whole vibe of the movie. It kind of has this 80s teen movie vibe, but not too much, but enough, and I liked it. So yeah, overall, I liked it. I saw it in 3D, so the 3D was pretty good. The fight scenes were good. The CGI was good. The music was good. I loved the song choices for the movie. Again, the cast was phenomenal. It was the humor really funny. There's a lot of funny moments in there. Some pretty good nods to the comic, and yeah, so overall, I definitely like it. Definitely recommend it if you're a Spider-Man fan. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. That's basically going to be my non-spoiler. I want to get into more spoilers as I go on. As I was saying, I was debating whether to do this video as a normal review, but I decided I kind of want to do something a little different and do a more rating system since there's 6 Spider-Man movies now. Where does the Homecoming movie align on my actual list of movies, like which one's my favorite? Get into that in a minute. Find out in a minute. So, starting off with number 6, the lowest movie. Probably my least favorite. I don't hate any of them, and this is just my opinions. You don't have to agree with them or not. That's on you. You can make your own list if you want. You can make your list in the section below. Later on, once you finish the video, if you want, I will definitely read and get back to you. I'd like to hear what your guys' favorites are, whether you like this new one or not. But number 6 for me would be the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. I know there's a huge thing on that one. Everybody liked that one, and it was okay to me personally. One thing for me was the suit. Wasn't happy with the suit at first. Totally hated it. Not so much now. Lizard, I liked how he was portrayed, but I didn't really care for how he looked. And he couldn't keep the dang coat on. That bugged me. It's like, come on, man. I'm gonna try to do this brief. Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy was a good casting choice. And Garfield, at least in this movie, things about his performance just bothered me and still do. The part, especially the part after Uncle Ben dies, and he's out there. The part when he's in the car, when he's with the gang member, and he's pretending to sneeze in his hand. That part annoys the crap out of me. It's like your uncle just died. Okay, you wouldn't be messing around like that. That's just no. That's not. That's just. I hated that part. Still hate that part. And that's part really. I didn't feel like he deserved the powers, and just didn't like it. Didn't really like it as much. Didn't hate it, and I still watch that movie. It's just my least favorite so far. So yeah, that's number 6. That's why it's number 6. Number 5 would be The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That would have been I really liked that movie. I'll give you that. I hated all the designs for the villains, but the acting choice wasn't too bad, especially Jamie Foxx. I think he played a pretty good Electro for what they were doing with him. Just didn't care for the character design for any of them. I like the suit for Spider-Man. Obviously, is definitely close to definitely comic book accurate. And I enjoyed his performance better in that movie. I loved the whole how realistic the Gwen Stacy Peter Parker relationship dynamic was, because they were dating at the time, so it kind of helps. But definitely, I love that way. I love the death of Gwen. If you haven't seen these, sorry, spoiler alert. The death of Gwen definitely was was handled really well, I think. It made me care for the character. I was not a huge fan of her in the comics, but I really felt for her when he passed away. And that's another thing. Goes back to that. I felt like his performance was better in the second one. Andrew Garfield I felt the neurotic. They scraped the surface of how he's supposed to be in the comic, being neurotic and just having a pretty screwed up life. People around him dying. That I did not feel that with the first movie. He was too much of a cool kid. He got everything other than Uncle Ben dying. He had everything his way, and I'm sorry, I didn't buy into it. The second one was better, and I hated the fact that he wasn't as smart as he's supposed to be either, or a nerd. He was the outsider. He was the cool kid. He's not supposed to be the cool kid. Never was, never will be. So they didn't get it, but they were scraping the surface there, and I would have been happy to see a third Amazing Spider-Man, but that's not the route they went. And for the ones we got, I like the second one, and it's not my favorite, but I definitely liked it, and that's why it's right there. That's why it's number 5. Number 4. This is where it might surprise people. Number 4 is Homecoming for me. I love that movie. I love the cast. Like I said, I think Keaton steals the show. He's like him playing Batman again. But as a villain, you can actually, him providing for his family was. I could buy that story, and I just loved how they handled his character in this movie, and just charismatic the way he was. Especially, this is a spoiler. Spoiler, and if you want to skip ahead to my third pick, you can do that. If you haven't seen Homecoming yet, I'm gonna say a couple things I liked about it, and a couple things maybe I didn't, which is why it's lower on the list. The scene you find out, especially the shocking scene when Peter picks up Liz for prom, and you see Keaton just popping in the way. Toombs is there, and you're like, either he kidnapped her, killed her, or the big one there. She's interracial, and that's her father. And it was just the banter between them, and that whole scene with him driving them, chaperoning them to the dance, and them talking in the car, and the father moments. Really good. I loved it. Like I said, I think Keaton has always been my favorite actor, not just because it's just a coincidence that he plays my favorite Batman, but any movie he's in, he kills it. Like, he doesn't do that many. Luckily, since Birdman, he's actually been getting more active roles, and that's awesome. So I'm glad about that. But just totally, he stole the show for me anyway. I liked. This one, they showed Peter a little bit more of a nerd. Not enough, which is why it's still not my favorite. But, more so than Garfield's. I mean, didn't feel like he was super smart in that one, or, nerdy enough. This one is a step in the right direction. Not enough yet. I mean, he didn't get picked on, which he should have. Really get picked on. I mean, yeah, you had, the Penis Parker joke. But, Flash, which is probably my least favorite interpretation in that movie, was he didn't feel like the bully that I thought he was supposed to be. He felt more like the annoying friend that was just, that kind of rags on you. And he didn't feel like the bully he's supposed to be. And, it kind of bugged me. That bugged me. That was one thing that bothered me. I mean, it would have been nice if they actually showed us the death, got a little bit into the death of Uncle Ben, because they kind of skip ahead, and you feel like Peter's already gotten over it, which he never really gets over it, and I don't feel that, I didn't feel that, the loss like I think he should feel, it's another thing that the Sam Raimi ones didn't do until Amazing Spider-Man 2, I didn't feel that. But, he's funny, he's still learning to be Spider-Man. I like that. The CG was good. The fight scenes were good for what they were. I just love that dynamic. I love the dynamic, again, between Keaton and Tom Holland. Definitely like that. Aunt May, the new Aunt May. I'm still getting used to the fact that she's younger, and so I hope they develop the Aunt May, Peter Parker relationship a little bit better. So, forthcoming. Robert Downey Jr., the amount of time he was in the movie more than I was expecting, but I'm happy with it either way, because up to this point he's been my favorite MCU character, still is. Iron Man is still my favorite Avenger at the moment. from the movie ones, of course. I thought that was great. The suit was alright. It's starting to grow on me. Still not my favorite. Mark 6 is still my favorite. But I love that role. Him getting be more of the father figure in a way. Not listening to him about like tombs and all that, and just him and Happy. Just the scenes with him and Happy were funny. Seeing them together, helping him on the ship was awesome. Um, just oh man, and in the end, it's a spoiler again, of course. Happy when at the end of the movie when he turns him down for the Avengers during the Avengers and getting the Iron Spider suit, or sort of Iron Spider-Man. Not exactly like the comics. It looks suspiciously like, a little bit like the new suit that he's using in the new video game coming out. Kind of cool, but I like that suit. It was cool, but him turning down the Avengers role, and Pepper coming out and seeing them together, and them coming up with the excuse for announcement, them getting together in the kiss. Finally, I've been looking forward to that, and I've been missing Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm so happy she was back, and I'm hoping she's going to be in showing up more in some more forthcoming Marvel movies. So happy that they got her back, and that relationship is still going, because it's still awkward. I would not want to see him get with that May. It's just so weird. Because he's still too young. That's one thing that bothers me. I know, 16 years old doesn't feel 16. So I think he should have been a little bit older. Even though, I know in the comics, but even in he still don't look that way. People are saying this is more close to the comics, and I don't buy that. I really don't. There are a lot of elements, like the part when he's under the rubble after the scene with him in Tombs, and just him pulling himself back up. That felt very comic booky, but it's just not. I still feel like they haven't portrayed him enough the way he should be. But they're getting there. Definitely a step in the right direction. I like the fact, that he didn't actually get with Liz, because in the comics he doesn't. She's not even a big character. That's his first crush. She goes away, and then she comes back. Comes back married to Harry. And I thought that was cool. So maybe that'll happen. I liked her. I thought the dynamic was cool. But yeah, I'm kind of happy. MJ was a surprise. Finding out the rumor that Zendaya playing MJ, even though it's not the MJ that we were expecting. I think that's neat. It's different. I'd prefer it later on. Maybe she'll dye her hair red, come out of her show, become the model. She's got the spunk, definitely. I was okay with her being on board when she was the run-of-the-mill Mary Jane, so I'm okay with that. It was just kind of a shock, especially the way she was. But I definitely see it. I see the spunk, so that'll work. I think that will be a good thing to see. I like how they showed Scorpion. They're setting up some of the other Sinister Six, which was pretty cool. Shocker could have been. I wish they would have given him the actual full-on costume, because he's one of my favorite villains that they've not used yet. But I'm glad that he showed up in one way or another, even though it was two guys. First one gets killed, the new guy, But pretty. So that was cool that they added him in. Thinking if there's anything else I wanted to say. But yeah, I liked it. It was good. That's why I have it up where it is on the list. But it just, to me, the fact that he still doesn't feel like Peter Parker enough to me. He still hasn't hit that mark, I think, where he should be portrayed. It's getting there. They're pretty close. Like I said, step in the right direction, but it just doesn't hit the mark yet for me, 100%. And that's where it comes to my top three picks, which I'm gonna add, because most of it, obviously you gotta figure it out now that my top three, the Raimi movies, the Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies hit my top three spots, because I kind of lug them together. It's a package deal for me. And those movies, Tobey Maguire is still the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man to me. And I think he always will be. They're getting there though. Tom Holland, the way they did portray him in this one, they are getting there, but not enough yet. Okay, he's not nerdy enough. He's not picked on. He wasn't picked on. His wife's not screwed up. He's supposed to be neurotic. And, you know, I think Sam Raimi's movies just hit that mark with every one of them, all three, including Spider-Man 3. I know a lot of people, that's not their favorite. They you know, the dancing Parker thing they didn't like. I liked it. I thought it was funny. You know, Venom being in it as short as he was, even though I'm just glad they had them all, especially now with the way that things are sounding, that it might be the only Venom Spider-Man fight we'll ever get. And I thought it was good. I think he played well, you know, because he's a younger. He's about the same age as Pete. You know, it's different if he was, you know, older. But he, you know, they wanted to go with that route, and the fact, you know, Gwen Stacy being and the reason they did Gwen Stacy as a plot device in that one is because they kind of did her how she died in the comics in the first movie with Mary Jane. They kind of mixed her as both characters. And, you know, I think the casting in the Raimi's movies were perfect. Everybody, J.K. Simmons as JJ, come on, that was perfect. And, you know, I bought into the story on all three. I love the redemption story in the third one. I love, like, forgiveness and redemption. I love that. The dynamic, how it turns out in the end was, you know, Sandman being the one that killed his father, and I mean his uncle, and you know, him being able to find it in his heart to forgive him, and just, you know, even like the spat between him and Harry, you know, him killing the father and then screwing up his life, you know, the thing with Mary Jane, just, and, you know, him dying. I thought I bought into that. I still do, and I love that story. And, you know, the second one, everybody, it seems like most people, the consensus is if Homecoming's not their favorite, Spider-Man 2 usually is. And I love the way that he portrayed, you know, they did him too. Alfred Molina played a pretty good Doc Ock, and just everything about it. I just love everything about the Sam Raimi movies. Like, to me, that's Spider-Man. It's all, for me, they haven't got there yet. The Homecoming definitely shows me some promise, so they could get there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. But to me, Tobey's still the best Spider-Man, and Sam Raimi Spider-Mans 1 through 3 are still my favorite. But I definitely did like Homecoming. You know, in the first movie, just perfect origin. The first movie, I think, really captured the origin of Spider-Man pretty well, also. And, you know, I think William Dafoe as Green Goblin is perfect. I think he'd play a good Joker too, but just, I loved his version of it. The laugh and just everything about it was great. I think Keaton's Vulture is pretty close to being my favorite of the cinematic Spidey villains too. So those two, I think, are my favorites of the villains in all 6 movies too. Like I said, I liked all their movies. Amazing Spider-Man is the first Amazing Spider-Man is just my least favorite, but I haven't hated any of them. And you know, I enjoyed it. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I'm happy that we haven't had a terrible movie for him so far. You know, so. But yeah, definitely, that's my top. That's my ranking. You know, let me know what yours ranking is and how much you liked or didn't like Homecoming in the description below. You know, definitely would like to hear what you guys think. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, Maiden. As always, my Facebook profile is going to be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.